Today, we will be building a SwiftUI to-do list app with Firebase login and Firestore. This is the actual app we'll be creating. The user is able to log in using their credentials, test@test.com. The password is test1234. Click on sign in. So as you can see, there are a few to-dos that the user needs to complete. We can add a new to-do. Click on the plus sign, add the to-do subject, collect relative from airport, assign a date, say 27th of August, click on save. As you can see, the to-do has been saved. And I'll also show you the to-do within the Firestore database. And as you can see, if we navigate to Firebase, we can see all the to-dos for the logged in user. So if I click on this document here, for this user, you can see the to-dos. And this is the new to-do that we just submitted a few minutes ago, collect relative from the airport. We can also delete the to-dos from the Firestore database by swiping. So if we wanted to delete one of the to-dos, we just swipe and click on delete, and then that record will also be removed from Firestore. And we can update the to-do as well. If you want to set one of the to-dos to complete, its code is playing up. So go to delete mode. Let me just stop the simulator, try it again. I'll select the record again, the one that we want to update. Okay, so at the moment, the status for the wash the car to do is pending. If I want to, I can update it to done, and click on save. As you can see, it's now been updated to done, so that to-do is done. We can also search or filter the to-dos. If I type in W, it will filter on all the to-dos that contains the letter W, such as wash the car and mow the lawn. So I don't know what happened there, so let's go. So this is the app that we'll be creating today. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials. In this tutorial, we will implement our Firestore cloud setup that will include our to-dos, documents, and our users, and we'll also implement our data model. So to implement the Firestore cloud setup, the first thing we need to do is to click on Cloud Storage. And then click on Create Database. Just select the standard edition, then click on Next. I'll select Europe because I'm in England. Click on Next. I'll just select Test Mode. Click on Create. the moment it's just creating the process. The next thing we need to do is to add our documents to the Firestore. The documents, they're similar to like data tables. So the first document we have to create is to-dos. So just click on the Start Collection plus button. Name the collection to-dos. Click on Next. For the document ID, you can just name it to-dos. For our fields, we need a due, at, and that will include the actual date and time when the to-dos should be done or when it was completed. We need another field called owner UID, which is string, and this can be used for testing purposes. The next field we need is status. In status, it shows if the to-do has been completed or not. That's a string data type. The next field we need is subject. The subject is, for example, washing the car, and that's a string data type. Just click on Save, and as you can see, our document has been created. It just needs to be populated with the data. So I'll close that now. The next thing we need to do is to create our data model. So we create a new Swift file. Name the file data model. Click on create. We also need to import foundation, and Firebase Firestore for Swift. We need to create an enum, and the purpose of the enum will show the states of the to-dos. String, codable, case, iterable, so that we can loop through the enums using a loop, for loop. Each enum will be identifiable, will have a unique ID. So the states of the to-dos includes pending, done, and cancelled. We also need our ID, string, which will be the raw value. I spelled codable incorrectly. And that should be codable we also need to create a to-do struct, which is also codable and identifiable and equatable, so that we can do comparisons. We need equatable. At document ID var ID string. And the purpose of the at document ID is so that Firebase can automatically map the document ID to that property. Var subject, as we saw earlier, is the subject in the Firestore. Var due at is date, data type. And we also need current status that we created about 2 minutes ago, which is the to-do status in the enum. Var owner ID, which is string, and that can be useful when doing debugging or testing. We also need to add our init, our initializer. So the ID, that should be optional, equal to nil. Subject is string, due at is string. The subject is string, due at is date, status is to-do status, and owner ID is string. Document ID, on lines 20, document ID should be optional. Now I'll just compile it. Just compiling at the moment. Compile. The next file we need to create is our Auth service. The purpose of our Auth service is to enable the user to sign up, sign in, and sign out of the application. So let's create another Swift file. Name the file Auth service. Click on create. We need to import Firebase Auth. to enable the user to be authenticated, and also SwiftUI and observation. We also need to use main actor, since this will be executed on the main thread, and also observable, should be observable, so that the UI can detect when values change within the class, and then they will be published. Final class, and we're not using any inheritance. You don't have to use the word final, it's up to you. Auth service, and we create a private read-only property, var user, which is user, it's optional. And that will keep track of the user that is currently signed in. We also need our initializer. It's incorrect. So the initializer should be all add state did change listener. Root cell underscore users in. It's using the wrong bracket. After add state did change listener, we need these curved brackets, that one there. I think that's right now. And then we self user to initialize the user object. I cannot find weak. Scope. Let me clean it. Highlight again. I'll just pause the video since it's compiling, takes a bit of time. It's still compiling, but by looking at it, it's this other bracket, it shouldn't be there. The next thing we need to do is to assign or create a few more variables, which is signed in. Bool user.nil. So these are computed property, not variables. So that's our computed property. And then we need to create another computed property for the user ID, string, user, question mark, UID. And that's a shortcut to the current user's ID. The next thing we need to do to create our sign in method. But the first method we create is our our sign up. Sign up method accepts an email, password, which is string, async throws, let results equals try, await, or dot sign in with email, password. And that should be with email. I think that's incorrect. This should be this should really be the sign in method. That accepts an email and a password. Sign in with email. Yeah, that seems correct now. And then use self.user equals result.user to update the local state. On line 27, there should be full stop between user question mark and the full stop with the UID. So the next function we need to create is our sign up function. A little bit similar to the sign in. Sign up. That takes an email, a string, and password as strings, got similar signature, async throws, let results equals try await, author.auth, but this time we're creating a new user to be stored in Firebase, so we need to use create user. But everything else is the same. Create user, and we pass in our email and our password as parameter. The next function we need to create is our sign out function to enable the user to log out of the system. Try all.sign out self.user equals nil. In our next tutorial, we'll create our to-do service that will manipulate the data in our Firestore database, such as create, update, delete, and retrieve all the records that we're working with. And that's for the next tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials.